Hello everyone, welcome back to Anatomy Weekly. As you know, in our last episode, we had discussed about the general anatomy of connective tissues. In today's episode, we'll be talking about a very common disorder of connective tissues called Marfan's syndrome. So let's get started.
The Marfan syndrome is an inherited systemic connective tissue disorder caused by the mutation in the gene encoding the extracellular matrix protein, the fibrillin-1. The incidence of Marfan syndrome is reported to be 1 in 10,000 live births. This disorder shows autosomal dominant inheritance and is primarily associated with skeletal, cardiovascular, and ocular pathology. Now, what is this fibrillin-1? Well, fibrillin-1 is the major constituent of the microfibrils, and abnormal fibrillin-1 production leads to prominent disruption of these microfibrils and the elastic fibers in the diseased tissue. Now, let us discuss the pathogenesis in a little more detail.
To understand the pathogenesis of Marfan syndrome, we have to know about a gene called FBN1. This FBN1 gene is present on chromosome 15. And mutation of this gene is the primary cause of Marfan syndrome. This FBN1 gene on chromosome 15 encodes for fibrillin-1, which is a glycoprotein component of the extracellular matrix. Fibrillin-1 is essential for biogenesis and maintenance of elastic fibers. In our last video, we talked about elastic fibers in details. These elastic fibers are found throughout the body, but are particularly abundant in the aorta, ligaments, and the ciliary zonules of the eye. Consequently, these areas are among the worst affected in Marfan syndrome. Let us now look at the musculoskeletal manifestations of this disease. Number 1 is dolichostenomelia. This is the overgrowth of the long bones. This is often the most obvious manifestation of Marfan syndrome. It may produce a reduced upper segment to lower segment ratio or an arm span to height ratio of more than 1.05. Secondly, anterior chest deformity may occur due to excessive growth of the ribs. It can cause the sternum to push outwards. This is called pectus carinatum, or it may cause the sternum to push inwards, which is called pectus excavatum. Marfan syndrome can lead to flat feet, which is called pes planus. In this condition, the natural arches of the foot are lost. Marfan syndrome can also manifest as joint hypermobility or joint contractures. Another sign of Marfan syndrome is arachnodactyly, which is manifested as long and slender fingers. This is usually elicited by the thumb sign as shown in the video. Marfan syndrome can also lead to contractures of fingers and the elbows. There may be craniofacial manifestations also, like dolichocephaly, which is a narrow skull, or anophthalmos, which is sunken and deep-set eyes. Marfan syndrome can manifest as a condition called retrognathia, which is abnormal posterior positioning of the mandible relative to the facial skeleton, or micrognathia, which is a small mandible relative to the facial skeleton. In some patients of Marfan syndrome, we can see something called malar hypoplasia. This is the flattening of the mid-face skeleton.
The patient of Marfan syndrome also presents with some cardiovascular manifestation, which includes thickening of the atrioventricular valves associated with valvular prolapse. In children with early onset and severe Marfan syndrome, there is insufficiency of the mitral valve, which can lead to congestive heart failure, pulmonary hypertension, and death in infancy itself. Aortic aneurysms, dissection and rupture, principally at the level of aortic root, remains the most life-threatening manifestation of the Marfan syndrome. The ocular manifestations which are found in Marfan syndrome are the ectopia lentis, that is the dislocation of the ocular lens, which occurs in approximately 60 to 70% of the patient. There can be early and severe myopia, flat cornea, increased axial length of the globe. Patients are also predisposed to retinal detachment and early cataracts or glaucoma.
Some less common manifestations of Marfan syndrome can be seen in the skin in the form of stretch marks. These are usually pinkish, scar-like lesions which can later become white. When they become white, they are called stria atrophicae. We have already discussed that there can be certain deformities in the chest in Marfan syndrome. Along with them, in certain patients, there can be spontaneous pneumothorax due to widening of the distal air spaces. So folks, wasn't that something very interesting? Keep supporting us and stay tuned to Anatomy Weekly. Keep watching and keep learning. We'll see you next time. Thank you.